What is going on, guys? Architecture here with another review for you guys. Today I'm going to review Metro Exodus. Now, just a little background, I'm not one of these reviewers who just started playing Metro. I played Metro 2033, played Metro 2034, aka Last Light, and I enjoy those two games. Those two games to me are amazing. To me, the Metro series in general is one of the hidden gems of gaming. If you have not played the Metro series, please go play those two games. They're very cheap games. You can get the Exodus collection on Xbox One for like $10 probably, if not even cheaper than that. It's in Game Pass, so you can play it literally in Game Pass, and that doesn't really cost you that much. Especially if they had a sale. You get 2 months of Game Pass with $2. There's constantly sales for Game Pass. There's constantly trials for Game Pass, so you don't have an excuse for your own Xbox for why you can't freaking play those two games. They're amazing games. They're beautiful games. They're the best way I can explain how good Metro is one of those things where it's like, think of Harry Potter. Harry Potter has books and it has a movie series. And when it comes to asking Harry Potter fans about those books in that movie series, what do they tell you? They're both amazing. Yes, the books are better, but the movies are also just amazing. They're both amazing. Same thing here when it comes to Metro. The Metro books, and yes, these are based on books, are phenomenal. The Metro games are amazing. So, Metro 2035, if you want to call it that, or better known as Metro Exodus, how is this game? Well, for starters, it's still Metro. One of the best things that developers do with this series is they don't change the identity. They'll add new things, they'll change some things up, improve the story, improve graphics and things like that. But they don't change what the game actually is. They don't change the core mechanics of the game. They don't change what makes Metro Metro, because every game has an identity. And Metro's identity is being a survival game that's basically a survival horror game. Because you look at Metro, like, if you don't play it, you look at it, it's like, it's a shooter that's kind of post-apocalyptic. To me, Metro as a franchise is probably the best and the most interesting survival horror game that you can play. And yes, I'm calling it survival horror. You might not classify it as that. You might just classify it as just a survival shooter. To me, it's survival horror because there's things about the game that can make it seem kind of horror. And in my opinion, in general, if you're trying to survive a post-apocalyptic world, that's horrifying. When you're in a world where everything's destroyed and there's just chunks of humans left alive, instead of being millions, there's just maybe a few thousand, if not even less than that. You don't know because everything's blown the fuck up. There's a nuclear war, nukes went off, all this happened, the wildlife took over the land. The world is destroyed. If you ask me, that's horrifying. You have to deal with all these mutations and things like that. That's horrifying. And when it comes to being in that kind of setting, when it comes to being in a survival horror setting or post-apocalyptic setting, a lot of games tend to have a lot of leeway when it comes to realism. Fallout is not very realistic, and you can say, well, obviously, Metro's not realistic, and it's not. There's literally like a mutated bear, so it's not realistic in that sense. But when it comes to how the game plays, how the game works, how the game looks and comes to identity, is very real. That's the thing of Metro. It's very real. And I remember seeing a review of Metro Exodus, and someone literally said one of the flaws of the game is how tedious it is to have to wipe your visor and having to light your lighter to destroy not fire webs, spider webs. And I was looking at that like, that is one of the dumbest things I've seen in a review ever, because that's Metro's identity. It was that way in the first game, it's that way in the second game. One of the core visual, realistic things about the Metro series is your visor gets dirty, your visor gets wet, and you can just press a button and you wipe your visor clean. There are spider webs throughout the world because humans aren't longer on the surface that we know of when it comes to the first two games, and everything's not being cleaned and repaired on a constant basis. So spider webs become a thing. And to get rid of those spider webs, you light a match or you light a lighter. In Metro, that's what you do. So doing those two things that reviewer called tedious, that's realism. That's Metro having a realistic identity. It's like, hey, if you're in this setting, you're gonna need to wipe your visor. So they added that to the game with the first game. They added having to light a lighter to get rid of spider webs. And Metro Exodus takes that even further when it comes to having to be more realistic when it comes to a survival game. You have to repair your armor, not your armor. You have to repair your visor entirely. It can take damage. It can get broken. So you have to clean it. You have to repair it. When it comes to your guns, you have to clean and repair your guns. You can't just be like walking around with the same gun throughout the entire game and it works perfectly. No, if you don't clean your gun, the gun does less damage. So the game wants you to constantly clean your gun and gather resources to do those things. And that's, to me, that's great. To me, I like when games can maintain being realistic and being fun at the exact same time. And Metro does a good job at doing that. It does a good job at being realistic and good, and a good video game at the same time, being a fun game at the same time. So getting out of whatever this ranting or rambling that I'm doing right now, it's about the actual game itself. The game is, the first video that I posted this month was a review for Anthem, and I talked about how in 2019 every game should be expected to have beautiful physics, not beautiful physics, beautiful graphics. Metro blows everything out the water. Metro it is one of the most beautiful video games I've ever seen, and it shows you how beautiful it is in a way that I don't know if they meant to do it this way, but if they did, they're geniuses. And that's, I didn't beat the game yet. That's pretty. I did not beat Metro yet. I'm getting there, and I've been through 3 locations: a snowy tundra, a desert, and a beautiful forest. 3 landscapes that I've been through, and all 3 of those landscapes are jaw dropping. They're phenomenal. It's the visuals in this game. It's hard to explain just how beautiful Metro Exodus is when you're exploring and going through the world of frozen Moscow, frozen Russia. You're just like, this place looks dirty and beautiful. There's snow everywhere, there's dirt everywhere, there's destruction everywhere. This place is dirty, snowy, and beautiful. And then you go to this desert little location where there's nothing but sandstorms and just sand. Like, just sand. Like, there's nothing special to it, just sand. And somehow that sand, and somehow those dark, musty looking clouds and that sandstorm that keeps coming by and giving you horrible eyesight, it's beautiful. Somehow, some way, it's beautiful. And then you go to this forest, this luscious forest, this forest where there's foliage all over the place, beautiful lakes, beautiful weather, the sky is blue. You will forget that you're in a post-apocalyptic video game world. You will think that you're in, you're just going out for a hike, you're going out hunting, you're just going out to enjoy life. That's how beautiful the woods are in this game. You're just like, this would be a good day to go fishing. This would be a good day to go hunt some deer. This would be a good day to just enjoy life, to sit under the stars and just enjoy everything. That is the experience that I get when I look at the graphics of Metro Exodus. That's how beautiful this game is. It's when my brain's like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, you see this shit? This is some beautiful shit. Like, I take screenshots in the game just so I can put it on Instagram and Twitter. Like, yo, this game is beautiful. So, moving on from that, because I'm pretty sure half of y'all, if not all of y'all, couldn't give a rat's ass about how beautiful the game is. Let's talk about the story. The story is great. I don't even have to tell you much about the story other than it's great. Now, the first 2 games had an amazing story, and the thing about Metro, kind of like The Witcher, they listen to the source material very well. Meaning that the developers, they look at the books and they use that as a source material for the story, and it's a great story thus far. Again, I haven't beaten it yet. Thus far, I like the story. It's a great story. There's new enemy factions. There's new enemy types when it comes to the wildlife. I've had minor interactions with the Dark Ones, as in like one, and it wasn't like I didn't see them entirely, but my experience with this franchise, I know when there's a Dark One presence is a thing. So there was like a house early on in the game that I went into, and I felt like, yo, this is definitely a darkness moment, because the Dark One's moment, because it was surreal, and it was psychosis. Like, now, I don't know if that's like the right word to use. When it comes to the Dark Ones, they can't speak. They everything they do is telepathic, and what they can do is they can make you think you're seeing things that you're not actually seeing. And there's a house there at the beginning of the game that you walk into, and you're hearing, people crying, you're hearing children, you're hearing all these things, you're seeing ghostly shadows, and it's like this is obviously the Dark Ones messing with RDM's head. So in terms of story, again, get back to that. It's a great story. It's a very, very well thought out story. It's so far I'm enjoying everything when it comes to this story. So far, it's great. And when it comes to the combat, again, you're playing a shooter, so you're not gonna expect too much different when it comes to playing a shooter. It works the way it's meant to work. Your gun needs to be cleaned as mentioned before. You by exploring out throughout the world, you find new attachments to using your gun. You get one of the best things about this game is the crafting. And it's not even that it's just crafting in the game in general, but you can craft on the fly. You literally can be in the middle of a gunfight and you're low on health on med kits. You can pull your backpack off, go into your bag, make some new med kits, and then heal yourself back into the fight. You can find new weapons around the world and new attachments around the world and equipment around the world. And right in the middle of being in the world, you can put your backpack down and go into it and start repairing your guns, or repairing your visor, start repairing things and putting on attachments, things like that. It's great. The crafting in this game is amazing. I don't think people, I keep mentioning like how great this series is. I don't think people understand like how small that may be to developers, but how big it is to me, the gamer. Because I love that kind of crafting when it comes to a game, to be able to just stop what I'm doing, take a backpack off, and just start fixing my weapons out and start, crafting things on the fly. So the crafting in this game is amazing. The graphics are amazing. Story is amazing. The gunplay is amazing. It's Metro. The game, that's the best thing I can say about this game is it's Metro. So you played the first two games, all you need to really know is it's Metro. It's a great game. They're both, the first two games were phenomenal games. This game is a phenomenal game. And I said it before when I entered the review that I'm not a big score guy. No, I just tell you, hey, go buy it. Hey, it's great. I like to leave it at that. But everyone likes it when they watch a review. They want to hear, what's the score? Get to the score. Metro Exodus to me is a 10. I don't think there's anything in this game that I would change. I don't think there's anything in this game that's a flaw. And notice I haven't said anything negative about this game, because I don't think there's anything negative about this game. There's nothing about this game in my mind right now that I don't like. There's nothing in this game that I think is a negative. I think this game, for the franchise, is a perfect game. I think it's probably the best of the Metro series thus far. Again, I haven't beaten it yet, so things could change down the line in terms of how excited with the first two games. But as it stands right now, I like this game more than the first two games, and I love the first two games. And those two games, in my opinion, are also 10s. So this game didn't do anything that knocks it down from being worse than those two games. To me, I think it's just as good, if not better, than those first two games. So therefore, just like the first two games, this game's a 10 to me. And you might see some reviews where they don't agree with that, and I'm fine with that. Reviews are opinions. That's all this is. This is all I'm saying. This is my opinion. I'm not telling you for a fact Metro is a 10. It's a perfect video game. For me, it's perfect. For me, as an individual person, it's a perfect game. I love it. There's no flaws to it. For me personally, I don't find anything in this game to be a flaw. I don't find anything in this game to be repetitive. I don't find anything in this game to be tedious. I don't find anything in this game to be a flaw. Everything in this game to me is phenomenal. And I love it, and I enjoy it, and I can't wait to keep playing the game, and I hope there's more when it comes to Metro. And I recommend reading the books. I recommend playing the first two games if you haven't played those before. Get into that. Again, this is a great franchise. People talk about we need more single player. We need more single player. This is a single player franchise. It's not multiplayer. So if you want to play a single player shooter that's in a very great atmosphere, very great world, go play Metro. It is an amazing game. It's an amazing franchise. It's an amazing series. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing book. With all that said, guys, this is the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.